It's the 2016 MAAC Basketball Championships on ESPN3 tonight from the Times Union Center in Albany, New York. It's a quarterfinal matchup between the Canisius Golden Griffins and the Iona College Gales. We already have one semifinalist. Monmouth earlier tonight here on ESPN3 took care of Rider 59-48. So the the regular season champion Hawks await the winner of tomorrow's quarterfinal between St. Peter's and Fairfield. The winner of this one moves on to the semifinals to take on either Siena or Manhattan. And welcome everybody to Albany, New York. Doug Sherman along with Rob Kennedy. And just 5 days ago in the regular season finale, we saw this matchup where A.J. English took over the game in the second half. The Gales had a monster second half, and Canisius just couldn't keep up.
And the Griffs played well in that game. They made 15 threes, but Iona just a little bit too much firepower down the stretch. Okay, let's show you our key players of this game, brought to you by I Love New York. Well, Phil Valente coming off a monster game in their triple overtime win in the first round. 33 points. He hit threes, did a little bit of everything in that ball game. Talk about doing a little bit of everything. How about a lot of everything? A.J. English, once again, a unanimous choice on the MAAC first team. And once again, back-to-back years, the runner-up for the Player of the Year. Only player in the country, averaging 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. I Love New York. Winter in New York State means more great things to do than ever. Plan your trip at iloveny.com. Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Lids Team Sports. Keep your eye on number 1 in blue, Malcolm McMillan, a terrific senior guard. A transfer from Central Connecticut State, and Phil Valente coming off that brilliant performance last night where he scored 33. And for the Iona Gales, Isaiah Williams in last year's MAAC championship made as many as 9 3-pointers in a single game. Ibn Muhammad, a terrific shooter. Pretty much say that about everybody. Deshaun Much, A.J. English, and Jordan Washington plays only 18 minutes a game because of foul trouble, but nobody in the country gets more out of his 18 minutes than that guy. Jim Barron got himself a 3-year contract extension yesterday to remain the head coach at Canisius, now in his 4th season. And there's Tim Cluse in his 6th year. 2-time defending MAAC regular season champs who finished in 2nd place this year at 16-4, the number 2 seed here in the MAAC championships, looking for their 20th win of the season overall here tonight. This the 69th meeting between these two schools that have been conference rivals in the MAAC since 1989. And the opening tip goes squarely out of bounds, untouched. And so it'll be Iona. No, it'll be Canisius basketball. Isaiah Williams is going to be pushed aside. Odd beginning here as Ray Perrone does his best not to foul things up just 3 seconds in. We say that in jest. Ray's our friend. The right call, just signaled the wrong way. Hey, I made a mistake off the top, too. It happens. Canisius with the basketball first. Trying to come back from what must have been a draining 55 minutes of basketball last night when they knocked out their Western New York rival Niagara. Phil Valente, who had his career-high 33 points, turns it over on their first possession. Well, defensively for Canisius, you're kind of stuck down at this end because Iona has 4 guys who can knock down threes at a terrific rate. That's a problem for anybody, but the way that the Griffs have guarded the basketball this year, an even bigger problem for them. They're 10th in points allowed, 10th in three-point field goal percentage defense, and 11th in field goal percentage defense. Jim Barron's club is the number 7 seed. They ended the regular season tied in the standings with Rider, but through tiebreakers, the Bronx were the 8th seed here. Rider just eliminated earlier tonight by Monmouth. Canisius went 8-12 in league play. Isaiah Williams with the 3. As you said in the open, had 9 threes in their semifinal win against Monmouth last year here in the MAAC tournament, or MAAC tournament record. He has not quite had the same type of season that a lot of people would have expected from Isaiah Williams. His offensive numbers, not where they've been the last couple of years, but he's been steady with his rebounding, defense, and energy. Yeah, still always a threat, but down at 34% from beyond the arc, averaging over 12 points, nearly 7 rebounds per game. Cassius Robertson coming off a 24-point performance against
Iona last Sunday buries his first 3.
And it was on the strength of 6 threes, and against that zone defense from Iona, you've got to convert from beyond the line.
Williams an air ball. Ibn Muhammad back outside. A.J. English spotting up. From 25 feet and beyond, he can bury him.
As you said in the last game, you don't have to worry about towing the line with this Iona team. They've got a bunch of guys that can really stretch it. That was a deep 3 from A.J. English, who's got NBA three-point range.
Well, you know, the last time A.J. English played a college basketball game, he could say he had the most points scored in a single game by anybody in college basketball, but that is no longer the case. Foul will send Jamal Reynolds to the line, because on Wednesday, Andrew Andrews of the University of Washington, at the same time Marcus Posley of St. Bonaventure, both scored 47 points, relegating A.J. English to third best with his 46 points. And I wonder if A.J. might have noticed that and said, you know what, I might have to go for 48 tonight.
Well, he's capable of it. He also had a game of 45 against Monmouth in a loss.
Yeah, 45 points in that game against Monmouth. 6 of 15, although in that game, 9 turnovers, but 7 steals.
Yeah, when you look at the numbers that A.J. English has put up throughout his career, 3rd all-time in scoring with 2 assists today. He'll go to 4th all-time on the assist records at Iona. At 1,900 points in his career. As you take a look at Reynolds, he's at 64% on the season with an awkward-looking release.
And dropping out the 2 misses, senior captain from Pickering, Ontario. 6'3" Iona on a pair of 3-pointers. Gales put up and make more threes than anybody. English off the curl, back to Much. Here's McMillan. This Canisius offense has 4 players averaging over 14 points per game. McMillan 14.9, Valenti 14.6, and Robertson 14.2. Ball kicked out of bounds by McMillan.
And to me, Doug, that's the biggest difference with this Iona team. They're not quite as good offensively, but defensively, they've been much more effective for Tim Cluse out of the matchup zone. And we've seen it especially in the last couple of weeks.
Well, he has helped to further what has been a tremendous Iona tradition in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, dating back to the first year in the early 80s. English, deep 3 again. Rebound Robertson.
And over the last couple of weeks, A.J. English has been playing with a bit of a chip on his shoulder and playing with a little bit of an edge.
And again, as you said, he finished with a runner-up, 6 votes to 5 to Justin Robinson of Monmouth for MAAC Player of the Year. Bleeker, nice-looking jump hook, 6-5. Gales with a 1-point lead in the basketball. Shot up by Much, and he was fouled by Kiefer Dowse.
Well, Much is the top 3-point shooter in the league at 46% on the season. That's top 10 in the country. So you know every time he catches it from deep, scouting important. Coaches have been hounding on you. You got to close out. A little too aggressive on the closeout.
So he gets 3 free throws here. On the year, an 81% foul shooter. And this Iona team is not as it was constituted, at least in the formative stages back in October. They've lost Kelvin Amayo, who was such a key part of their terrific team last year. And also Taylor Bessick hasn't played the last several weeks. Junior forward from Philadelphia suffered a calf injury and remains sidelined.
And the biggest loss, obviously, Shad Casimir, who's last year's Rookie of the Year, such a terrific shooter. Imagine putting him out on the perimeter as well. So, you know, they were the preseason pick to finish in first, and if they were whole, who knows? That would have been, you know, quite a race. They only finished 1 game back of Monmouth as is. And a lot of teams in this league, if you lost a guy as good as Casimir, wouldn't be able to recover from it. But Iona, because of their depth of scores, they've been able to do that.
And the idea is that Casimir will come back to full strength next year, but he had a sports hernia, a couple of hip problems that have been surgically repaired. And checking down on the bench, doesn't look like Casimir made the trip here to Albany unless he's sitting somewhere else. But good news for Iona is he should be back next year. Valenti for 3, where he was perfect last night.
Yeah, 3 for 3, and at time. Canisius got out to a real quick start in the first round of the game against Niagara yesterday, and then they let the Purple Eagles kind of claw their way back in. But another good start for the Griffs.
Nice defensive pressure by Valenti to force the tough pass by Williams into the Canisius bench. Phil Valenti coming off a career-high 33 points. Still has the range that took down the Purple Eagles last night, trying to do it to the Gales tonight.
Know that you will always compete against the best while bringing out the best in yourself. Know that you are joining a family with a rich history in both academics and athletics. To know that you will become one of the future leaders of tomorrow. To focus on one goal, graduation. That's the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, celebrating 35 years of excellence in academics and athletics.
Want to achieve more than you ever thought possible? At Canisius College, you can. A Canisius education is packed with extraordinary opportunities like top-level scientific research, global service experiences, and real-world connections. Want to intern at a Fortune 500 company? Want to get into the best medical and law schools? Want to be a champion for social justice? You can. Here.
Thanks for the ride around Norfolk, and I just wanted to say Geico is proud to have served the military for over 75 years.
Roger that. Captain's waiting to give you a tour of the Wisconsin now.
Could have parked a little bit closer. It's going to be dark by the time I get there.
Geico, proudly serving the military for over 75 years.
MAAC basketball is brought to you by I Love New York. Winter in New York State, there's something for everyone. Plan your trip at iloveny.com. As we sit here along Pearl Street in downtown Albany, New York at the Times Union Center, our second quarterfinal tied up early on 8 apiece. And we send it over to the third member of our broadcast team here this weekend, Matt Harmon.
So much. Obviously, you guys have been talking about A.J. English, and there's no way around it. He is Iona's main guy, no doubt about it. As I talked to the head coach, Tim Cluse, about his star player, there were a couple things that really jumped out. The first word I would say is toughness. You got to remember, this is a guy that missed 3 games back in December because of a surgery that he had to repair a chip bone in his hand. And the next thing that Coach Cluse really talked about was him being a complete player. And Rob, you mentioned it earlier, 5 rebounds, 5 assists per game. He is a scorer for sure, but you can be a scorer and also be a leader.
Indeed, Matt, and another illustration of his toughness. A.J. English suffered a broken wrist on a dunk his senior year of high school. Didn't have it addressed until after his freshman year of college. He played through a broken wrist.
And ended up having to shut it down that freshman year. Look at where he would have been had he not gotten injured at the end of that year. He's closing in on 2,000 points as is. He would have had 2,000 points, 500 assists, and 500 rebounds without any question if he didn't go down in his freshman year.
No doubt. Bucket by Valenti gives Canisius its lead of 10-8.
And he's done everything at Iona. 3 times a first-team All-MAAC selection. The only thing he hasn't had the opportunity to do is play in an NCAA tournament game. Because his freshman year, when the Gales went to the NCAA tournament, he was injured.
5 points early on for English now. Well, I remember Associate Head Coach Jared Grasso telling me during AJ's freshman year, this guy's really good, and he's going to be really good. And they knew right away when they got him. And he's another guy like Justin Robinson from Monmouth, very much under-recruited out of high school. Had no Division I offers out of high school coming from Delaware.
No, went to
prep school.
Yeah, went to St. Thomas More. Played for Jerry Quinn, one of the best prep school programs in the country, and that's where Jared Grasso found him. And he certainly would have been the Rookie of the Year his freshman year if he didn't get hurt. Missed pretty much the entire MAAC season.
He was integrated into a veteran club that was fun to watch with Momo Jones in that backcourt and Sean Armand, and fit in quite nicely. But now the floor is his. English misses the runner. Malcolm McMillan, senior from Baltimore, with it. Valenti goes right around Roundtree, one of the better defenders in the league, but Valenti couldn't finish.
Valenti's got good versatility, great size, but he handles the basketball and has a good skill set.
Jermaine Crumpton's come in for Canisius, as has Ricky McGill, number 0 for Iona. English whips it to the corner for McGill for 3.
Look how far he had to throw that ball. Most of the time, a cross-court pass is a bad pass. It was right off the dribble and fired it to a wide-open Gale.
Cassius Robertson being guarded by Roundtree. Under 10 to shoot. Crumpton can put it up from there and connect. Despite his size and position, at 6'6", 245, he makes 35% of his threes.
He averages over 10 a game. His numbers have been falling as of late. He's been single digits 7 out of the last 8 games, but prior to that, he was in double figures in 17 of their first 21 games.
English, quick trigger for 3 more.
Well, that's the thing. He kind of lulls you to sleep. When he's got the ball in his hand, he's not blowing by you with his speed, but what he does have is that quick release.
Look at that double team, and nicely handled by Cassius Robertson.
Well, one thing about the Griffs, they don't turn it over. They lead the MAAC in just a little over 11 turnovers per game. Turned it over just 8 times in 55 minutes last night.
That's incredible. For a game where about 200 points were scored, as Valenti cleans it up, to have turned it over only 8 times.
Well, it starts with the fine point guard play from McMillan.
Much no. Nice job by Williams to back tap, and English, anticipating Crumpton was going to fall on him, he just fires it up and will shoot 3 free throws.
No, he won't. They called it on the floor. You were right. I think they were wrong. There's the long 3 by Crumpton as he stepped right into it with a little bit of confidence, despite the fact he hasn't been shooting the ball well.
Well, I said Ray Perone wasn't going to be the only one to make a mistake tonight. I've got 2 already.
So
or maybe he's got 2. I'll hear about that later. Jordan Washington back into the game. English kicks to the corner. McGill again. That combination, 2 for 2.
Well, McGill's minutes have been going up lately. He's been averaging almost 7 a game over the last 4 games, playing with good confidence. Getting more minutes because of his energy and defense, but tonight it's been his 3-point shooting.
Yeah, a couple of nice feeds by the MAAC's assist leader. We talk so much about the scoring of A.J. English, but he leads the conference in helpers at 6.1 per game.
Well, look at how quick and crisp the ball movement is from the Gales.
English gives it back to Much. Over to McGill, trying to find the big guy inside with a size mismatch. Douse comes to double team. Skip pass again. Williams spotting up, and there's 3 more for the Gales.
Well, everybody can pass the basketball. That's what Tim Cluse wants. He wants guys that are multi-skilled. Got to be able to dribble, pass, and shoot if you're going to play for the Gales.
Well, Rob, we're not 8.5 minutes into the game, and already the Gales have 3 different players who have made 2 3-pointers, English, Williams, and McGill. We'll take a break. Tim Cluse's club hitting on all cylinders, up 7 early in this MAAC quarterfinal round.
Coach. Yeah. The MAAC has exciting news. We've created a geo-filter on Snapchat for the MAAC Basketball Championships.
Coach, you guys off to a good start shooting the ball from the outside, but Iona is as well. Obviously, the key to stopping them is being able to shut them down from the outside.
Well, not only shut them down, but we got to rebound the ball. We got to limit them to 1 shot. And then ourselves, we got to keep moving the ball and look to attack the basket. But, again, we know the team. They're a good team. We had a good win last night in triple overtime. But, we got to keep playing with our composure and really understand that we can't double the post, and we got to make sure we're playing the perimeter guys.
Tell me how concerned you are about the guys keeping their legs underneath them after that game last night.
Yeah, you just got to keep playing. This is basketball right now, and this is the tournament, so you just got to be ready to go.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
22-15 Iona knocking down shots early on from the perimeter. And the man who's got to deal with it, Jim Barron, the Canisius coach, a moment ago talking to Matt Harmon.
Coach, you guys off to a good start shooting the ball from the outside, but Iona is as well. Obviously, the key to stopping them is being able to shut them down from the outside.
Well, not only shut them down, but we got to rebound the ball. We got to limit them to one shot. And then ourselves, we got to keep moving the ball and look to attack the basket. But, again, we know the team, and they're a good team. We had a good win last night in triple overtime. But, we got to keep playing with our composure and really understand that we can't double a post, and we got to make sure we're playing the perimeter guys.
Tell me how concerned you are about the guys keeping their legs underneath them after that game last night.
Yeah, you just got to keep playing. This is basketball right now, and this is the tournament, so you just got to be ready to go.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, Jim Barron on the coaches conference call earlier this week was most outspoken, Rob, about the fact that he didn't have any of his players make any of the all MAAC teams, and I think he had a pretty good case to be stated.
Oh, certainly when you look at what Malcolm McMillan has done all season long, leads the league in assist-to-turnover ratio, averaged nearly 15 a game and top 10 in the league in both assists and free throw percentage. So certainly you could have made a case for him. But you know what? That's what Jim Barron does. He fights for his guys.
Yep.
And, there's 15 spots for 10 teams. And when you got a team like Monmouth that ends up putting multiple guys on, which they deserve because they won 17 games, sometimes there's just not enough spots. I thought Iona should have had a couple of guys as well. I mean, obviously, Jordan Washington was second team, A.J. English. But to me, I thought either Much or Isaiah Williams, either one of those two guys probably should have been on the third team at least.
22-17, Jamal Reynolds with the bucket. Well, I'm guessing that Coach Barron at some point this weekend, and maybe more than once, has reiterated to his team how the rest of the league coaches don't think you're that good.
Well, Phil Valenti certainly heard that message last night, going for that career-high 33. As did McMillan with a good game himself with 20 points and 5 assists.
McMillan, as you look at Valenti had 33. 16 of those 33 came in the 3 overtimes. But McMillan really turned it on after halftime. McMillan had only 2 points at the break and then finished with 20. So the young man takes a seat right now, but he has been sensational this year for the Griffs. Off the inbound, McGill missed the bunny. .35 remaining first half. Into the game at the point. Chris Atkinson replacing Malcolm McMillan. Atkinson did start one game during the regular season, but by and large he's been their top reserve coming in off the bench. Robertson. Well short, good closeout by McGill. Here comes A.J. English, 4-on-2. Isaiah Williams with the finger roll.
He looked up, saw what he had, and then also looked to his left and saw Williams making a run.
8 points for the senior. He's known as Aki out of Newark, New Jersey. Very active zone for the Gales. Atkinson fires over top of it. Much clears the rebound, and he's fouled 93 feet from the basket. Bad foul given up by Cassidy Ryan.
Well, Iona's at their best when they get out and run in transition. You saw ball in A.J. English's hands. He's looking up, who's ahead of me, but he also turned to his left to make sure he saw who was running as the trailer. Williams able to convert.
And now English will get his first blow. Much also out of the ball game. Aaron Roundtree in. Ibn Muhammad back onto the floor. He's got the basketball. Roundtree's a Wake Forest transfer. Had a nice run with the Demon Deacons, but a grad transfer playing his final year at Iona. Atkinson called for his first. And here is Jordan Washington. He is an interesting cat when you look at his numbers. I mean, he's averaging 14.5 points, 6 rebounds a game, but as I mentioned earlier, he only plays 18 minutes a game. How many guys who play only 18 minutes a game have numbers like that and are second team all-conference?
No, and it's limited minutes because he gets in foul trouble. And too many times he's had to sit, especially in first half of games, but He's given them a real good, consistent inside score. When you have that type of a inside scoring presence and you can surround it with 4 guys that can beat you from beyond the 3-point line, that's one of the reasons why the Gales are a good offensive team, averaging nearly 80 a game.
And out of Pathways High School in New York City, he took quite a long path to get himself to Iona, but he's got a couple of years, one remaining after this one, and he's taking full advantage. A couple of different junior colleges. Phil Valenti now. Rebound comes to the Gales. Muhammad, lob, Roundtree, laying it in. Easy as that.
And again, so many options. Williams is flaring out to the 3, so you got to go get him, and then over top, able to throw it. Good decision on the break once again.
Crumpton looks down at the 3-point line, instead passes back out to Robertson.
It's one of the things that's always impressed me about Iona. They play at a fast pace, they push it, but they don't turn the basketball over. A lot of teams that try to play fast, play too fast, and throw it all over the place. That's never been the case for Tim Plus's team.
Crumpton hits his second 3 of the night.
As we said, was really struggling coming in, but off to a good start with 2 threes.
I think a big part of the reason why Iona, since Tim Plus came to Iona 6 years ago, has played without turning the ball over that much despite their pace, is that that's the way they practice. I mean, they put a lot of time and effort into that exact thing, and they run a break that is not just getting out there haphazardly.
No, in practice, 2 things. They want to push it as quickly as possible, and Tim harps on that all the time, rushing the ball up. And the other thing is don't let the ball stop with you. That's one of the reasons why.
Valenti and Washington got tied up, and it looks like cooler heads have prevailed. Valenti holding his nose.
Oh, he's got immediate timeout, which will allow the officials to sort through things.
Yeah, the officials telling everybody to get back to their benches. They're heading over to the scores table to take a look, and we'll let you know what they come up with when we come back here in Albany. Iona 28, Canisius 20.
Deep within you is a relentless drive. You come prepared. You come willing to work. You come to win. Discover the Performance Protein Bar made just for you. Come ready. 24 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, no sugar alcohols. One unbelievably awesome taste. Come ready. You don't quit, and neither should your bar. Come ready for the competitor in you.
All right, everybody, if this doesn't get your toes tapping, then check your pulse.
The joy of cola, joy of bubbles, joy of fun, joy of Pepsi on your tongue, greatest taste sensation under the sun. Pepsi Cola.
Back at Albany, where the officials have just finished reviewing that tape of what occurred, kind of a scrum right before the break between Phil Valenti of Canisius and Jordan Washington of Iona, and you'll see here as we take another look. Washington was on his back. Valenti going for the basketball, landed on top of him. A little extra pushing and shoving there. And as we take a second look, Rob, what have you heard from the officials?
Well, they said it was a basketball play, just 2 kids going after the basketball, hustling for it. Nothing going on. There doesn't look like there's any contact to the head or anything like that, so play on. Basically a scrum, and on the jump ball, it'll be Iona possession.
I tend to agree. Now, I thought both guys probably could have stopped a second or two earlier.
Right.
But nothing worth calling there, fortunately.
Exactly. You and I saw it during the break and came up with the same thing. So either both right or both wrong.
Well, if we're on Ray Perone's side, we're both wrong, probably.
See both teams shooting the ball well from beyond the three-point line. Not surprising, these two teams both utilize the three-point shot so much as part of their regular offense.
Out of the timeout, A.J. English back into the game. As is Deshaun Much out there with Ibn Muhammad, Isaiah Williams, and Aaron Roundtree. 15 seconds to shoot.
And Canisius in the zone. Tough to play zone against Iona because they can spread you out with so many three-point shooters.
Well, the Griffs have their 2 point guards out there together as Muhammad fires away from the corner. He gets into the act.
And even he's another guy, 10th best or 9th best in the league, coming in at 39% from beyond the three. So Much, English, Muhammad, Williams, all four of those guys can beat you from deep.
McMillan spotting up. Roundtree taps it out. Here comes Muhammad, and just like that, numbers again. Much wide open for three. And another back tap to Muhammad. And a traveling violation. Much didn't put it to the deck before he took that first step.
Yeah, and he should have just thrown it to A.J. English, who was open on the wing. One of the few times that you'll see Tim Kluse's team be a little selfish with the basketball instead of giving it up.
There's Tim Kluse, the 2014 MAAC Coach of the Year. Third winningest coach in the history of the Iona basketball program.
All he's done is won 20 games in each of his first 5 seasons. A win here tonight will make it 6.
Tough shot by Atkinson, the freshman from Hempstead, Long Island. Has his first 2. Muhammad calls out A.J. Wheel. Let's see where A.J. English goes on this play. He's got the ball now.
I'll try to move him against the zone. Instead, he stays in the same spot. Surprised that nobody from Canisius was able to find him out of the zone.
Well, there didn't seem to be much action on that set. It was just we're going to pass it again to A.J. because he's standing there and he's going to shoot. Where was the wheel part of that play?
I was just going to say the wheel fell off.
There you see English leads the league in scoring, also leads in assists per game. Valenti, bad pass to the backcourt. McMillan going to give chase, touch it, and it's a backcourt violation. Have you sensed it all through the first 14 minutes that Jim Barron's club doesn't quite have its legs with the same pep or energy? Or do we read too much into it at this point?
You know what? As Jim said to Matt at that timeout, hey, it's tournament time. You just got to suck it up and play.
Yep. A bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-old kids who, if they weren't playing here, they'd be playing everyday pickup or AAU or wherever. That said, it can take a toll for sure. Isaiah Gurley just into the game, and he turns it back over to Iona.
It's a back-to-back turnovers from the team in the league that takes care of the basketball better than anybody.
Iona, the number 2 seed here this week, in this 35th MAAC championship. Iona's been to all 35, one of the charter members. As you saw, the tight shot on the left hand of Ibn Muhammad with that wrap on the hand and wrist. Certainly has not affected his shooting touch. Mid-range shot by Jordan Washington.
Well, he found that mid-range shot right at the high post against the zone.
He's about the only Gale who will not take a three-point shot.
Yeah, he and Roundtree.
Roundtree is 0 for 5 on the year. Washington 0 for 0. Bleeker going to head to the free throw line. Washington, as he does, picks up the foul. What do you do with a guy like Jordan Washington who picks up so many fouls? If you're the coach, you know, you love his aggression, you love his passion, his strength, the way he plays the game, and with that comes fouls. But how do you better channel that so that you get more than 18 minutes a game out of him?
Well, you got to try to say to him, hey, look what your numbers would be if we could keep you on the floor a little bit. You average 14.5 points and 6 rebounds, despite the fact that you're always on the bench and foul. He finds contact at both ends.
Right.
He gets to the line and creates fouls by throwing his body around on the offensive end, but he also does it on the defensive end.
Now, the number they have in the Iona stats is that Jordan Washington leads the NCAA at 9 fouls drawn per 40 minutes.
But he does 4.5 because he plays half a game.
Yep. And now he's on the bench, likely for the rest of the half, cheering on his teammates, replaced by Ryden Hines. a junior from Anchorage, Alaska, who has seen spotty playing time this year. English just attacks Bleeker, who winds up on the heap.
Oh, ended up on the floor and against the stanchion. Took A.J. English, went right through him, right through his chest.
It looked like a shoulder to the chin, but that's what you're supposed to do when you're 6'4" and the guy you're going after is 6'10".
They say put him in jail. He put him in jail.
And if you're Bleeker, what are you supposed to do? What can you do?
There's nothing you can do there. He came right into you. That's always so hard. It wasn't a charge. If they called the charge, you'd say, I'm not sure about that. He just, good defense, but better offense from A.J. English.
And you see Bleeker still trying to clear his head just a bit from that shot. McGill in, Muhammad or Much out. They're both heading to the bench. Looks like Much is going to go out. Muhammad just going over to talk with associate head coach Jared Grosso. 1 of 2 for Valenti. English has 10 points to lead all scorers. Valenti has 8, as does Jermaine Crumpton to lead Canisius.
A.J. English thought about it.
And he put it into motion, and he gets the shooter's roll.
Well, he was at 35, so he figured he needed to get to about 28 to hit that one.
Well, nobody in the history of 21 feet 9 inches has made more in a single game than A.J. English. Since the three-point line was moved back, his 13 made threes back in December against Fairfield has not ever been matched. That was the night that he went for 46 points, also had 8 assists, oh, by the way. I'm sure the Stags remember that one. English and the Gales up 13 over the Golden Griffins.
I'm Mike Richter, and I love New York. There's no place like it in the world, especially in the winter. You know I love to play on the ice, but I also love the snow. New York has over 50 ski mountains, more than any other state. So carve some turns, catch some air, or snowmobile in a state with over 10,000 miles of trails. New York State is a winter wonderland. So plan your trip at iloveny.com. There's something for everyone.
Fulfill your educational goals on a 22-acre private residential campus just minutes away from the world's economic, cultural, communications, and entertainment center, New York City. For more than 160 years, Manhattan College has promised a Lasallian Catholic education featuring 5 schools of study that challenge students to excel academically while providing career opportunities second to none. Find out what Manhattan College can promise your future.
Iona with a 13-point lead over Canisius, and they've been getting it done, Rob Kennedy, from beyond the three-point line. The Gales one after another, all can shoot.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to key on one guy. You've got to key really on all 4 of their perimeter players. It's such a big part of Iona's offense, and when you put shooters like A.J. English on one side, McGill coming in, hitting 2 threes as well, doesn't matter who is stepping up and taking threes. They're able to knock it down. 4 different Gales have knocked down a 3 here in this first half. 8 of 14 as a group.
And how do you counter that if you're Canisius?
You got to get out and guard the three-point line. The problem for Canisius is Jim Barron's team hasn't done that all season long. Opponents shoot it at 38% on the year, and that is 10th best or worst, whichever way you want to look at it, in the MAAC.
English, all he has to do is show the ball, and 2 guys come flying. That helps to open up other folks. Good ball movement. Roundtree to the left side, Muhammad. Canisius recovers. Here's Roundtree, right side, McGill.
Facilitating the offense out of the high post.
Going behind his back twice. Jacks it up with 3 to shoot. English misfires. Atkinson, McMillan, Valenti, Crumpton, and Robertson, the 5 on the floor for the Canisius Golden Griffins from Buffalo, New York. Here in Albany, New York, about 4 hours to the east. Robertson uses the screen. English tries to draw the charge and does.
Yeah, good job switching the high ball screen. Quick feet by A.J. English to make sure he was the first one to that spot. That is a good call.
Albert James English. His father of the same name started at Virginia Union back in the day and went on to play a couple of years with the old Washington Bullets. Now the Washington Wizards. And you can rest assured there are NBA scouts in attendance here tonight because every time the Gales play, there are to check him out. Here comes AJ off the curl. Finds Williams. There's another assist for number 5 and 3 more for number 1.
And Isaiah Williams having a good offensive performance now. 4 out of 5 from the field. And if they get him shooting a basketball the way he's capable of, watch out.
How about the save by English behind the back, and Williams gets 2 more.
And anytime they turn it over and can get out in transition, you're in trouble.
Now, reading Jim Barron's lips, he says to the official, you got to call it both ways.
Well, here's the trap, the deflection by English. Presence of mind to keep it alive. And look how they share the basketball.
McGill could have forced it, but instead he sees that Williams has a better angle, and boom, you got 2.
And Williams was a guy that started it off. As soon as he got the ball from English, he put it ahead.
There are the numbers on English already, close to a double-double here in the first half, 13 and 7. Here's a quick look at the MAAC Basketball Championships bracket. Monmouth defeated Rider 59-48. Our 2 quarterfinals tomorrow will be Siena against Manhattan, followed by St. Peter's and Fairfield. The winner of this one will get either the Saints or the Jaspers. We both had a chance to see Manhattan head coach Steve Masiello in between our first 2 games, and I said to him, you guys came out pretty good last night, and he poo-pooed it. I said, you guys are here for a three-peat. Make no mistake about that. I don't care that you're the number 6 seed. They're looking to win 4 in a row.
They had great energy. They were flying around all over the place, and when Shane Richards shoots the ball the way he did, especially in the first half when he was unconscious, they're tough out.
So the Jaspers able to just relax tonight. Their mission is now to win 3 games in 3 days. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now English gets whistled for the offensive foul.
Assist to Jim Barron, working the officials over on the sideline, saying, hey, if it's a charge on one end, got to be a charge on the other.
So 2 fouls on English. This is certainly not Jim Barron's first rodeo. This is 29th year as a Division I head coach, St. Francis, PA, St. Bonaventure, Rhode Island, and here at Canisius. And honored time and again as his league's coach of the year, 4 times in the Atlantic 10. And he's done a terrific job in his 4 years at Canisius, so much so that he was rewarded earlier this week by getting a new 3-year contract extension.
Well deserved.
Although I know he wishes he still had a 3rd son he could rely on.
Well, the way that both of his sons, Jim and Billy, played for him. Jim at University of Rhode Island and Billy at URI, as well as his last 2 years here at Canisius. Why not?
Nice looking set there as Robertson fed Valenti. Well, Jim Barron cut his coaching teeth at a place called Aquinas Institute in Rochester, New York. And that is the same alma mater as the young man at the free throw line, Phil Valenti. He grew up in Victor, New York, but played at Aquinas, which is a traditional powerhouse in Western New York. And Valenti continues to blossom. As we talked about, he was 13 preseason all-conference. He didn't make any of the teams in the postseason, but I don't think that is a reflection at all of his performance.
No, he's had a good, solid year from start to finish. He's a guy who redshirted his first year and really made the most of that redshirt year. Put on upper body strength and some extra weight so that he was able to compete right from the start when he stepped in as a freshman.
Valenti's a guy who played 49 of 55 possible minutes last night. He's got 9 points so far. Here's Ryden Hines. Missed the front end, won't get the bonus. Canisius with it, down by 17 as Valenti encourages from the sideline. A lot of deflections for this Iona defense here tonight.
Yeah, and they're so much more active out of their zone defense than they have been the last couple of years.
No doubt. Do you credit that to personnel? Do you credit that to different coaching? What do you think? Because a lot of the same guys are here that have been here the last couple of years.
A little bit of everything. I think Tim Klus and his staff looked at it in the offseason and said, you know what, we've been so good offensively the last couple of years, but we've lost in back-to-back MAAC championships games because Manhattan's been the better defensive team. So I think a little bit more of a concerted effort maybe on the defensive end. And I think it's also a little bit different with Jordan Washington at the back end of the zone and also the versatility of Aaron Roundtree.
Now Roundtree, 6'8", 200. I'm not sure what his wingspan is, but I would hazard that it's well over 7 feet. And he is terribly active, pulling down the rebound right there.
And certainly David Lowry was a terrific player, last year's MAAC Player of the Year, but he wasn't a willing defender all the time.
That's a nice way to put it. David's been doing well in the D-League this year. Haven't seen his numbers just lately, but I believe was with Delaware. Under 10 to shoot, Deshaun Much. Big size advantage over Atkinson. Got him pushed up against the bucket, but couldn't make him pay. And here comes Robertson. McMillan to the left. McGill tried to jump the pass route and wound up getting a piece of Robertson. He's called for the foul.
And since you're in the double bonus, that's about the last thing you want to do coming down the stretch of the first half. Canisius, the second best foul shooting team in the league, and they won the game last night from the foul line. They outscored Niagara 34-10 from the line, behind the strength of both McMillan and Valenti, who just kept marching there. Valenti ended up making 14 of 18 from the line, and McMillan 12 of 15 from the stripe.
That game last night will be one for the record books. 102-97 the final. The longest game, 3 overtimes in this tournament's history, and the most points combined in the tournament's history as well. Good look at Cassius Robertson, 6'3", redshirt sophomore from Toronto, one of 4 Canadians on this team. The Canisius campus not that far from the Canadian border. Much misfires at the buzzer. And we head to break. The number 2 seeded Iona Gales, led by A.J. English with 13 points, along with 7 assists and 3 rebounds, comfortably up by 15. We'll take a break and come back with our MAAC halftime report here on ESPN3.
Phil, obviously, you know one thing about Iona. They are so difficult to defend when they're making the three-pointer. What do you guys have to do in the second half to slow them down?
Yeah, we got to push out on them. They've been hitting some bombs, so we got to push out on them and pressure the ball for sure, and help side's got to be there.
Offensively, you guys got off to a pretty good start. You made some threes to open up the game a little bit. Check that side of the ball for us a little bit. Tell me what you got to do offensively to get things going.
We got to keep moving the ball from side to side. We got to get reversals and definitely get the ball in the middle on their zone. So,
Phil, appreciate the time. Best of luck.
Yeah, appreciate that, sir.
Thanks for coming over, AJ. AJ, obviously for you guys, shooting the outside shot has been money so far tonight. You've got a lot of extra passes. It seems like the ball movement is working great.
Yeah, we're just trying to play Iona basketball. I feel like that's what Coach Kuz preaches. We're just trying to do that and play a lot of defense.
It seems like defense has been something that's really carried you guys over the course of the last few games. I know you come in hot, winning 4 in a row. Tell me what changed with that defensive mindset.
Just more like paying attention more to defense. But, the 4 games really doesn't matter right now. Every game matters right now. And we just want to continue to play Iona basketball and play good defense.
AJ, best of luck in the second half. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Tonight's halftime entertainment is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Fans, we welcome the Canisius dance team.
It's halftime in Albany. Iona 43-28 over Canisius in our second quarterfinal. Got to move on to the semifinal round on Sunday here at the Times Union Center. A moment ago, our third man on the broadcast, Matt Harmon, had a chance to speak with Phil Valenti of the Griffs.
Phil, obviously you know one thing about Iona. They are so difficult to defend when they're making the three-pointer. What do you guys have to do in the second half to slow them down?
Yeah, we got to push out on them. They've been hitting some bombs, so we got to push out on them and pressure the ball for sure, and help side's got to be there.
Offensively, you guys got off to a pretty good start. You made some threes to open up the game a little bit. Check that side of the ball for us a little bit. Tell me what you got to do offensively to get things going.
We got to keep moving the ball from side to side. We got to get reversals and definitely get the ball in the middle on their zone. So,
Phil, appreciate the time. Best of luck.
Yeah, appreciate that, sir.
All right, Phil Valenti, 9 points, 5 rebounds to lead the Griffs here at the intermission as they fight for a spot in the semifinals. The winner of this game will get either Siena or Manhattan tomorrow. Tomorrow's quarterfinal. They will play them on Sunday at 7 o'clock. Meanwhile, Monmouth is already on to the Final Four of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, awaiting the winner of tomorrow's St. Peter's Fairfield game in this new format here for the 35th MAAC Championship in Albany. We'll step away and come back with more of our halftime report with Iona comfortably on top of Canisius.
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star. One shining moment is all on the line. One shining moment. That's good.
All right, everybody, if this doesn't get your toes tapping, then check your pulse.
Ba 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 ba. The joy of cola, joy of bubbles, joy of fun, joy of Pepsi on your tongue. Greatest taste sensation under the sun. Ba 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 ba. Pepsi Cola.
Know that you will always compete against the best while bringing out the best in yourself. Know that you are joining a family with a rich history in both academics and athletics. To know that you will become one of the future leaders of tomorrow. To focus on one goal, graduation. That's the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, celebrating 35 years of excellence in academics and athletics.
Hey, guess what day it is?
Hump day!
Hump day! It's hump day!
Yeah.
Hey, Mike!
Mike!
Guess what day it is? Hey, Camo! Guess what day it is?
It's not even Wednesday.
Let it go, Phil. If you're a camel, you put up with this all the time. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Okay.
We're back at the March home of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. It's the MAAC Basketball Championships in Albany, New York. At the half, Iona 43, Canisius 28. And earlier today, the MAAC announced its major award winners for 2016. Let's take a look.
The Rock Coach of the Year, King Rice, Monmouth University. In his 5th year at the helm of Monmouth University, King Rice guided his team to the MAAC regular season title with a 17-3 MAAC mark and a program record 25 wins. His Hawks earned wins over 5 Power 5 conference teams in the 2015-16 season, including the program's first win over a nationally ranked team. The Rock Coach of the Year, King Rice, Monmouth University. Rookie of the Year, Micah Seaborn, Monmouth University. Seaborn is a 6'5" freshman guard from Fort Worth, Texas. He scored 13 points per game in the regular season, good for 21st in the league. He ranks 4th in the MAAC with his 85% free throw percentage and 8th with his 39.3 three-point field goal percentage. 3 MAAC Rookie of the Week honors in the 2015-16 season, en route to being a unanimous choice to the All-Rookie team. Rookie of the Year, Micah Seaborn, Monmouth University. Defensive Player of the Year, Javion Oganyemi, Siena College. Oganyemi, a 6'8" junior forward from Troy, New York, led the league with 2.1 block shots per game in the regular season. He ranks 2nd in the conference in offensive rebounds, grabbing 3.3 per game, and 7th in rebounds, averaging 6.3 an outing. Oganyemi also averaged 15.1 points during the regular season, good for 11th in the MAAC, and logged the 2nd highest field goal shooting percentage in the 2015-16 season. Defensive Player of the Year, Javion Oganyemi, Siena College. 6th Player of the Year, Nico Clarith, Siena College. Clarith, a 6'5" freshman guard from Baltimore, Maryland, averages 13.1 points per game, which ranks 20th on the conference scoring list, making him a unanimous selection to the All-Rookie team. He accounted for 1.5 steals per game, which tied for 2nd best in the league, and shot 46.2% from the field to place him at number 12 in the MAAC. Clarith was a 2-time MAAC Rookie of the Week choice this season. 6th Player of the Year, Nico Clarith, Siena College.
And congratulations to all of those award winners. And here you see some more. The Player of the Year, Justin Robinson. There's King Rice's Coach of the Year, Micah Seaborn, the Rookie of the Year. In what was a fairly close vote, Brian Parker of Marist wound up with 3 votes. Nico Clarith of Siena 2, and then Antoine Portley had just 1. Defensive Player of the Year, Javion Oganyemi, and there is Clarith as 6th Player of the Year. He beat Rich Williams of Manhattan by a single vote, 5-4, for that final honor, Rob. All right, we'll take a break and come back with more of our halftime report. 43-28, the Gales over the Griffs.
I'm Mike Richter, and I love New York. There's no place like it in the world, especially in the winter. You know I love to play on the ice, but I also love the snow. New York has over 50 ski mountains, more than any other state. So carve some turns, catch some air, or snowmobile in a state with over 10,000 miles of trails. New York State is a winter wonderland. So plan your trip at iloveny.com. There's something for everyone.
You must do the thing you think you cannot do.
The mind is everything. What you think, you become.
It is not best that we should all think alike.
He who learns but does not think is lost.
The main purpose of life is to live rightly, think rightly, act rightly.
Oh, the things you could think of if only you try.
Deep within you is a relentless drive. You come prepared. You come willing to work. You come to win. Discover the Performance Protein Bar made just for you. Come ready. 24 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, no sugar alcohols. One unbelievably awesome taste. Come ready. You don't quit, and neither should your bar. Come ready for the competitor in you.
The right education can inspire you to do anything. Challenge yourself. for success. This is your moment to create, explore, discover, matter to each other and to the world. Be inspired to do anything at Monmouth University.
Isaiah Williams and A.J. English both with 13 points at the break, and Iona comfortably in front 43-28 over Canisius. This is our second MAAC quarterfinal of the weekend. Welcome back, everybody, to Albany. Doug Sherman along with Rob Kennedy. And if the Gales continue to shoot the basketball like they have, does Canisius have the ability to hang with them?
No, not if they shoot it at that pace. And certainly Canisius, a good offensive team. They've struggled defensively all season long. And when Iona starts making shots like that, they can get coming at you pretty quickly.
And we kind of got that sense right from the start here tonight. Let's show you the first half highlights, and they are heavy with Gale's three-point shots.
And certainly Canisius, early on, it was 8-all because they were making threes. Robertson, a terrific three-point shooter, able to knock one down. Valente, who hit him last night. And then as well, Crumpton, who had been quiet the last couple of games, he was able to find the mark. They hit 4 threes early in that first half. One of the reasons why they were able to hang in there until all of a sudden the Gales just went crazy from beyond the three-point line. 9 made three-point field goals. We've said it a couple of times, Doug. They can stretch 4 or 5 different players out to the three-point line that are legitimate threats. And when Isaiah Williams is stepping up and shooting the ball the way he did, and A.J. English, you got to guard him when he walks off the bus. Just too many offensive weapons, especially from on the three-point line. Those two senior backcourt mates combined for 26 of Iona's points there in that first half.
Our first half stats brought to you by Geico, and individually, Williams has 3 made threes, 3 for 4, English 3 of 7, and Ricky McGill, nice spark off the bench, 2 for 2.
And like most Iona teams sharing the basketball, 12 assists off 15 made field goals. Ball was moving, everybody sharing it. That was a terrific offensive half for the Gales.
And only 3 turnovers committed by Iona. Canisius going to have to try and turn things around if they're going to win for the second time in as many nights. They beat Niagara in triple overtime last night. Can they come back against the Gales here tonight? We'll find out when we come back to the Times Union Center.
Welcome back to the 2016 MAAC Basketball Championships on ESPN3 here at the Times Union Center in Albany. Our score 43-28 Iona. And let's hear the thoughts of the Gale's leading scorer, A.J. English.
A.J., obviously for you guys, shooting the outside shot has been money so far tonight. You've got a lot of extra passes. It seems like the ball movement is working great.
Yeah, we're just trying to play Iona basketball. I mean, I feel like that's what Coach Coos preaches. You know, we're just trying to do that and play a lot of defense.
You know, it seems like defense has been something that's really carried you guys over the course of the last few games. I know you come in hot, winning 4 in a row. Tell me what changed with that defensive mindset.
I mean, just more like paying attention more to defense. But, I mean, the 4 games really doesn't matter right now. You know, every game matters right now. And we just want to continue to play Iona basketball and play good defense.
A.J., best of luck in the second half. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
And there's the runner-up for 2016 MAAC Player of the Year, A.J. English. We appreciate his time. 13.7 assists as we get set for the start of the second half. It'll be Canisius basketball to begin. Cassius Robertson to inbound in front of us here at midcourt, along with Malcolm McMillan in the backcourt. Jamal Reynolds had a quiet first half, starting with Kevin Bleeker and Phil Valenti, who's got the basketball now to Bleeker in the high post, backing his way down, and he's tied up and fouled. Muhammad reaching in. Picks up the personal. There you see the leading scorers. Valenti with 9 and Muhammad with 3 fouls. 10 seconds into the second half, he's out of the game, replaced by Ricky McGill, and you can see the look on his face, the frustration at what just occurred. So McGill's out there with Much, Williams, English, and Washington for Iona. That's a 2-point shot for Bleeker. Was toeing the line. He is a guy who can step out, shooting 34% of the year from beyond the 3-point line. And 6 points for the senior from the Netherlands. English swings it back to Williams. Feed inside Washington, who faces up. And there's a foul on Bleeker.
And Washington gets so many isolations in the post because you can't double down. Who are you going to double down off of? Because of those 3-point shooters out on the perimeter, he's able to maneuver one-on-one.
Yeah, we heard Coach Barron talk about that in the first half, that that's the quandary. You just cannot double down. Can't do it. There's nowhere to come. You can't come post to post. You can't come with one of your guards because all 4 perimeter players will bury you.
And you're better off with 2s than 3s. When Iona really gets going and when they string things together and blow games open, or when they're making 3.
Court pressure, ball poked away by Much out of bounds. Canisius will keep it. Iona's largest lead has been 18. Canisius led just briefly by 2 early on. Bleeker gives to Robertson. He's got deep range. McGill did a nice job of crowding him. Now McGill on the leak out. Beats Robertson with the spin.
Another nice feed ahead by A.J. English. That's why they're so good in transition. Whoever's open, the ball is ahead. And it's ahead quickly.
McMillan feeds. Bleeker, the dunking Dutchman.
Now the gamble by Washington, and Bleeker made him pay.
English blocked from behind by Valenti. Reynolds given plenty of room, and he drives into traffic, creates a big collision, and I agree with Jordan Washington. He's going to pick up the blocking foul.
Well, here's that good feed ahead, good catch and gather by McGill to finish it. And nice bounce pass there by McMillan as Bleeker able to flush it down.
So Rob, that's 3 fouls on Jordan Washington, and do you agree with me or agree with the official?
No, I'm with you. The only thing I didn't see
was the inside the arc.
Exactly.
Yeah. Valenti, the layup. Well, the thing that gets me is when I see somebody like Jamal Reynolds who can knock down a mid-range shot, he is completely wide open, 17 feet from the basket, and rather than just taking a shot or taking one dribble and going up, he goes into traffic and creates a collision.
Yeah, it creates a much more difficult shot than he had when he first caught the basketball.
Isaiah Williams. Valenti had a step on the defenders, but Canisius didn't make the long pass.
So Aaron Roundtree has come in for Washington, who sits for those 3 personal fouls. Valenti lost the dribble. Right there is Ricky McGill. Here comes Williams. English. He's got a 3. That's like a layup line for him.
And those 2 guys, how many times do you think they've done that? One guy feeding the other, whether it's a layup, dunk in transition, or a 3-point shot. They get so many good looks from 3 when they force turnovers and can get out and run.
Before the shot, so no basket for Reynolds, the foul call comes. Isaiah Williams whistled for the personal.
You see English flaring out, and again, because he's got such good range, he stays outside that 3-point line, so it makes it more difficult for the closeout to get there. When your toes on the line, guess what? When you close out, you get there a little bit quicker. But with his range, those closeouts get there a little bit late.
Now, he may not have Steph Curry range, and he may not have quite the accuracy of what Steph does, but there are similarities in the fact that they don't get their shots blocked even though you know they're coming. They shoot a very high percentage, and the range is well beyond the 3-point line. Roundtree with another block shot. Canisius has 11 to shoot. Back to Reynolds. Nice job by the Griffs.
Well, they're getting some dribble penetration, forcing defense to collapse, and then the Griffs have shared the basketball. Better start to the second half here than they finished the first half.
English sets the screen for Williams, who gives it back to number 5, who backs out. Going to try and take Valenti off the bounce. And the foul goes against Canisius. Are there comparisons to be made between A.J. English and what he does, or is that just pushing the envelope too far?
That's pushing it a little bit too far. But the one thing I will say is the reason why A.J. English is such a good, that quick release. You know, some guys takes a little while to get, he's shot ready pretty much any time. And his ability to get it out of his hands so quick, and that range makes it hard to really close out.
And that's exactly what I had been thinking about, because I heard a stat earlier today that Steph Curry has yet to have one of his 3-point shot attempts blocked this year. So again, everybody on the planet knows you're pulling up, and you still can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it was the same thing at the end of the OKC game last weekend. Yep, everybody in the building knew he was going to take the 3. They didn't take the timeout in that last possession, but it's his range. I mean, when guys are pulling up from 35 feet, as a defender, you're just not expecting that.
And the thing that Steph has that nobody on the planet has, the ability to dribble the basketball like he does to get himself into open spaces. Not only can you not block the shot, you can't even crowd him. Proctor just into the game, off the nice feed from English.
Yeah, another assist for A.J. English. A bunch of them have been in transition. And nobody's quicker with the basketball than Steph Curry. As much as his shooting gets everybody excited, his ability to handle the basketball and get to those shots is just as impressive.
McMillan for 2. Tough shot with Jihad Proctor all over him. First 2 points from Malcolm McMillan, who went for 20 last night. Williams, catch and shoot 3 that rattles around and goes through the net. That's 4 made threes. 16 points for the senior out of Shabazz High School in Newark.
And that's a great sign for Tim Cluson if you're an Iona Gales fan, because Williams had been struggling. Just 3 of 17 from 3. The last 4 games coming in when he was just averaging 6 points per game in that stretch.
Good extra pass to find the open man, Proctor. The assist, McGill. Atkinson and Ryan at the scorer's table to come in at the next stoppage for Canisius. English picks up the rebound with 2 Griffs still sitting in the backcourt on the floor. Numbers for the Gales. Nice job by Crumpton to box out, but then he and Reynolds miscommunicated and give it right back to the Gales. Timeout in Albany. Iona shares the basketball, and there's somebody else who gets into the action. Knocking down the 3, it's Jihad Proctor.
Knowing that Niagara University has been named a best value means that it's one of the best investments that you can make in an education. I want parents to think about a Niagara University education as a great investment in their child's future.
There's a lot of talk about teachers not getting jobs these days. Our students are getting jobs. We have schools calling us asking for our most recent graduates, which is very exciting. Our success depends on the students' success at Niagara University. We want you to be the best student that you can be.
All right, everybody, if this doesn't get your toes tapping, then check your pulse.
The joy of cola, joy of bubbles, joy of fun, joy of Pepsi on your tongue, greatest taste sensation under the sun. Pepsi Cola.
At Quinnipiac University, we offer the warmth and spirit of a small town. You feel it the moment you step on our picturesque campus and a team of upperclassmen helps you move into your freshman dorm. You feel it in the dining areas as students and faculty share meals together. And you can cheer with your friends and Boomer the Bobcat at many of our exciting NCAA Division I sporting events. This is Quinnipiac University, where you're part of our community.
58-40, Iona comfortably in front by 18 for a spot in the MAAC semifinal round. And fans, the 2016 MAAC Golf Championships head to Lake Buena Vista, Florida. Boy, doesn't that sound nice these days.
Oh, yeah.
To compete on Disney's Magnolia Golf Course. It is beautiful. April 22nd to the 24th. Check out highlights of the golf action on ESPN3 following each day's competition. For more information, visit macsports.com/golf. With Matt Harmon and Rob Kennedy, I'm Doug Sherman here in Albany, where A.J. English has 9 assists and counting. He's got the basketball now, and if you're wondering, the single-game MAAC tournament record is Ronald Moore. The Maestro had 14 in a game back in 2009 against Fairfield, so certainly well within range for this man. This time, though, no assist to be had. English just going to work. Roundtree grabs the miss. Let's go over to Matt with a report on Canisius.
Doug, out of that last time out for Canisius, Jim Barron and the rest of the staff really trying to preach defensively how to help with the outside shot from Iona. Obviously, the Gales have been able to shoot the lights out so far. The feeling was that they are helping too much on the penetration because they're not able to get out and rotate, see if they change things up a little bit tactically and strategy-wise to try and slow down Iona.
Isaiah Williams around and out. Robertson clears the rebound. And by the way, Ronald Moore, who had so many magical moments here in this building for Siena back in their three-peat days for Fran McCaffrey, playing professionally these days over in Italy. You know, we've enjoyed Hamilton Cook and the other members of the MAAC staff putting out the 35 greatest moments in the 35-year history of this conference. And that Siena team among the top 5 greatest moments that they rattled off championships in 08, 09, and 2010. And the man who led the way was the Maestro. English! He certainly has been part of a number of magical moments. He'd love to be part of one on Monday night here in Albany.
And he got a mismatch, and Cassidy Ryan just can't guard him out on the perimeter.
Of course, if you're wondering, the number one moment in the 35-year history of this league, and not surprisingly, it was the Marist women's basketball team that made it to the Sweet 16, the only men's or women's team that's gotten that far. Williams the rebound off the Roundtree block. And not surprisingly, the late 80s, early 90s LaSalle Explorers were all over that list. And very well deserving. Love seeing the pictures with Joe Mihalik and Fran Dunphy, assistants for Speedy Morris back in those days.
Yeah, not only great players, but a heck of a staff as well.
My goodness. And they used to draw very well in Philly also. English knocks it out of bounds. And it's Iona basketball. That swarming Gales defense continues to cause Canisius trouble. The under-12 media timeout has Jim Barron scratching his head.
Coach, obviously the three-point shot's been on target for you guys all night, but let's talk about the way that you've moved the ball. 17 assists all during the course of the night. Very unselfish.
That's great. That's how we try to play, and when we're sharing the ball like that, we usually get good shots.
You know, obviously now the last 12 minutes, what do you have to do to just continue to close Canisius out?
We have to keep the intensity up and not let up at all, and it starts on our defensive end is really playing hard, not giving them easy shots, and then getting good looks and continue to share the ball down here.
Coach, appreciate the time. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
The Iona Gales and their fans and the Pep Band having a good time here in Albany tonight, up 61-40. Let's find out the thoughts of their head coach, Tim Cluse.
Coach, obviously the three-point shot's been on target for you guys all night, but let's talk about the way that you've moved the ball. 17 assists all during the course of the night. Very unselfish.
That's great. That's how we try to play, and when we're sharing the ball like that, we usually get good shots.
You know, obviously now the last 12 minutes, what do you have to do to just continue to close Canisius out?
We have to keep the intensity up and not let up at all, and it starts on our defensive end is really playing hard, not giving them easy shots, and then getting good looks and continue to share the ball down here.
Coach, appreciate the time. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Matt. 17 assists on 21 made field goals for Iona, a Gales team with only 3 turnovers tonight. Playing for a spot in the semifinal round on Sunday, Rob.
Yeah, and they've also forced 10 turnovers, as we mentioned, in 55 minutes last night against Niagara. Canisius turned it over just 8 times.
But the Niagara defense isn't quite what we've seen from the Iona defense here tonight.
No, and to me, that's the biggest difference. They're not quite as good on the offensive end as they've been the last couple of years, but I think they've been better, especially over the last month of the season on the defensive end.
Which perhaps will serve them better should they make it back to Monday night for the 4th straight year. They won the title in 13, lost in the finals to Manhattan each of the last 2 years. 6 to shoot. Here's Williams in the corner for 3. And a fresh shot clock for the Gales. Ibn Muhammad back into the game, playing with those 3 personal fouls to give A.J. English a rest. Here's Muhammad with it. Out of Bishop McNamara High School. He's from Laurel, Maryland. Passed it. Oh, I love it. To Williams. Crumpton had his head turned. Roundtree read it, and he's got a big smile on his face.
A terrific pass. Williams also almost didn't see it, though.
Nothing better than whistling the pass by the ear of the unsuspecting defender who's got his head turned.
As we said, everybody passes the basketball. That's just terrific. Movement without the basketball and a better look and find by Roundtree. Not only that, not only does he see him, but he puts it exactly where it needs to be.
Yep.
Bad pass, that gets deflected.
Yep. Well, defensively, it should be ball you man, and Crumpton clearly lost track of at least one of those 3. So the assist for Roundtree. Atkinson at the point, along with McMillan, Valenti, Robertson, and the man with the basketball, Bleeker. Valenti skip past McMillan. To Atkinson for 3. Off the back iron, long rebound comes to Roundtree.
Yeah, smart play by Williams to keep it alive.
Muhammad to the corner, Williams. Williams with 16 points. English has 20. The lob. Isaiah Williams tried to one-hand it. Maybe a little too high from Roundtree. Bleeker gathers back to Atkinson. Just past the midpoint of the second half. Valenti has it poked away.
Gales have had active hands on the defensive side.
Cassius Robertson, no. Valenti tips. Robertson tries to clear some space, and the foul is given. And Isaiah Williams says, what am I supposed to do? I was straight up. He moved me off my spot.
Here's that attempted alley-oop. You see the length of Williams, even though he missed that one.
So I ask you again, what is Isaiah Williams supposed to do there?
Well, he wasn't straight up.
He was not, okay.
He had his hands over top and got contact on that one. That was a good call.
So that's number 3 on Mr. Williams. And now with a little bit of jawing between a couple of the Griffs and Williams as he went to the bench. The officials step in and say, cool it, guys. Been a quiet night for Robertson, just 5 points for him. He went for 15 in the win over Niagara last night. Jahad Proctor works his way into the lane, puts it up and in.
Well, Proctor's a guy who's had a couple of big games, especially earlier in this season. Scoring numbers haven't been quite as good as they were earlier, but he's one of 5 Gales to score 20 or more in a game. And that, again, shows you their offensive balance.
Robertson now with 8. And he went for exactly 20, did Proctor, back on December 1st against Fairfield.
Yeah, so they have 5 guys that have gone for 20 or more and 3 guys that have gone for 30 or more.
Much one of those guys having gone for 30 turns it over.
Yeah, did it in the first meeting against Canisius up in Buffalo.
McMillan trying to pick it up here in the second half after a scoreless first half. He's got 6.
Problem for Canisius, though, they can't trade baskets. They got to come up with some stops on the defensive side.
English will return at the next stoppage. Although now he heads back to the Iona bench. And he's taking his uniform off, put on a different top.
Well, remember, we've got a media timeout coming in the under 8, so I think that's why he sat back down.
And you know what? He's putting a T-shirt on to then put the jersey back over top. Now that I look around, there are at least 3 other Gales on the floor right now with T-shirts underneath. This building not as offensive foul, not as warm as it will be the next few nights as the crowds get bigger and the intensity picks up as we get closer to Monday night's MAAC championship game. The Gales would love to be there for a 4th straight year. They're 7 minutes and 42 seconds away from getting back to the semis.
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star. One shining moment is all on the line. One shining moment. That's good.
Thanks for the ride around Norfolk. And I just wanted to say Geico is proud to have served the military for over 75 years.
Roger that. Captain's waiting to give you a tour of the Wisconsin now.
Could have parked a little bit closer. It's going to be dark by the time I get there.
Geico, proudly serving the military for over 75 years.
Deep within you is a relentless drive. You come prepared. You come willing to work. You come to win. Discover the Performance Protein Bar made just for you. Come ready. 24 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, no sugar alcohols. One unbelievably awesome taste. Come ready. You don't quit, and neither should your bar. Come ready for the competitor in you.
With Rob Kennedy and Matt Harmon, I'm Doug Sherman here in Albany, New York. Iona 67, Canisius 46. Be sure to download the MAAC app to get instant updates on your MAAC news, scores, standings, and videos straight to your mobile device. Go to the Apple App Store or Google Play to download tonight, or visit MAACsports.com/mobile for more information. Some of the fans who've made it down from New Rochelle, or rather up from New Rochelle, we're a couple hours north of the Iona campus. And whenever the tournament's played here in Albany, typically Iona is good and playing deep into the weekend. And as the weekend goes on, we can count on more folks making the drive up the New York State Thruway. A.J. English putting up another terrific stat line, 20 points, 9 assists on 7 of 14 shooting. 5 of those 7 have come from beyond the arc, 6 rebounds as well, Rob.
As we said, he's a guy that can put up a triple-double. Nearly did first time these two teams met up in Buffalo. Was 1 rebound short of a triple-double. In a game in which he had 14 assists. He may get to that number again here tonight.
Washington is always drawing contact, and the foul goes against Bleecker. Well, we've talked about the fact that last year, only D'Angelo Russell of Ohio State, now with the LA Lakers, and A.J. English averaged 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. This year, he's the only one English is. But we should also mention that Denzel Valentine is averaging 19 a game, but well more than 5 in rebounds and assists. So now that Denzel is back to being Denzel, and Michigan State seemingly is back to where the Spartans were in November and December, would you make Denzel Valentine your National Player of the Year, Rob?
No, I still think it's Hield's award. He's had a terrific season, even though Oklahoma struggled a little bit as of late, and there's no question Michigan State's going to be one of the favorites heading into the NCAA tournament. Both of them will be first-team All-Americans, but I'd shade to Hield.
So who's the rest of first-team All-American, if you can come up with 3 more names off the top of your head?
Well, certainly when you look at what's going on throughout college basketball, you've got parity all over the place. You got everybody talking about what's going to happen with number 1 seeds, and is this the year that you're going to end up with a number 1 seed getting knocked off?
Yep.
There's not the same depth up top that we've had. And Kansas playing terrific, and certainly they are deserving of being the number 1 team in the country right now. But I think things will be interesting once we get to the NCAA tournament.
Roundtree turns it over. So if you've got Hield and Valentine on the first team, do you put Malcolm Brogdon of Virginia on there? Do you put Ben Simmons from LSU on there? Where are you going for the rest of it?
Ben Simmons has got to be on the first-team All-American.
Right.
The numbers he's put up, and even though LSU's losing games, and then either Brogdon or, certainly I think he should be on an All-American team for what he's done. Grayson Allen, another guy that has put up some big numbers. That last spot will be the hard one, but there's no question those first 3 guys are the 3 no-brainers.
And the thing that's kind of refreshing is that, like on the Wooden Award watch list, down to 25, the vast majority are seniors. And, first-team All-American other than Ben Simmons could be all seniors.
Yeah.
And that's something that I thought 15 years ago would never happen again.
Yeah, especially the way that freshmen have come in and dominated the sport over the last couple of years. Certainly Simmons has done that, but it's nice to see guys that have stayed for long, we say long careers, stay for the full 4 years, but at that level, that's a little bit longer than we've been accustomed to as of late.
And it certainly makes for a better college basketball season, and I think a higher level of play. And we've, at this level, been able to enjoy at the mid-major. For the most part, you get 4-year seniors. You get transfers, and you got guys moving around, but by and large, you have people like A.J. English, who may play in the NBA someday, but he's not going 1 and done, 2 and done, 3 and done.
Oh, and that's one of the reasons why you see so many upsets come the NCAA tournament, because of those mature teams. A little bit different, though, this year, because some of those upper echelon teams are also senior-laden teams. It's not going to be necessarily a mid-major with all these guys that have played 4 years going up against the number 2 seed, a 4 seed, or whatever, with all these young freshmen.
Well, of the mid-majors right now, Valpo, Arkansas, Little Rock, St. Mary's, Monmouth. Who do you think has the best chance, assuming they all get in, those guys get in, who do you think has the best chance to maybe make it to the second weekend?
Well, St. Mary's is good. I happen to be up catching a couple of those West Coast games.
You and me both.
You know, that WCC is a fun league. I like watching that league. And their win at Gonzaga, that really showed me that they're a pretty tough team. And I think maybe, and Valpo, Arkansas Little Rock lost for the first time in a long time the other day, but they still lead the country with 27 wins. Stephen F. Austin, another team that once again undefeated in their conference, and a team that's been there. I think at times, having been there a few times gives you a little bit of an advantage. So I think there's a number of mid-majors that could spring upsets.
Multiple upsets?
I'd be surprised if we don't have multiple upsets in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Just too much parity this year, and not a dominant team.
McMillan, little floater. Washington the rebound. Here comes A.J. English looking for another assist. There's a double-double off the terrific no-look feed. The layup by Ricky McGill.
And in transition, he just makes simple plays. You know, 2-on-1, bounce back, get some space. Make sure that you're nice and wide, and then just a simple bounce pass.
Right to the rim, Kevin Bleeker. He's into double figures as well. 69-53, Iona 4 minutes away from the MAAC semifinals.
It'll be interesting as well which of those mid-major teams, if they don't win their conference championship, are on the bubble and which are going to get in. And it's always interesting because you just don't know what the selection committee from year to year, what they're going to value more. Are they going to value RPI? Are they going to value road wins? So it's always interesting to see what happens with that.
Iona up 16 with 3:38 left to play. A.J. English has been doing work for the Gales here tonight.
We are St. Peter's University, a place where students who are eager to learn are taught by people who care, on a campus designed for both to thrive. We're proud to offer incredible learning opportunities and life-changing experiences, and that means our students are prepared to succeed in their fields, in their communities, and all over the world. Get to know St. Peter's University, the Jesuit University of New Jersey.
Know that you will always compete against the best while bringing out the best in yourself. To know that you are joining a family with a rich history in both academics and athletics. To know that you will become one of the future leaders of tomorrow. To focus on one goal, graduation. That's the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, celebrating 35 years of excellence in academics and athletics.
The Iona Gales up 16 over Canisius. Back here in Albany as the Friday night of basketball winds to a close. And it's time now for our Crons play of the game. A.J. English the steal, the pretty behind-the-back pass. And the ball sharing again for Isaiah Williams.
Well, they transition from defense to offense as quick as anybody. And they share the basketball better than anybody.
That's the steal that English has tonight in 29 minutes. 20 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility that he could come up with his first triple-double of his career, but I have a feeling that he won't get 4 more rebounds. Don't imagine he's going to have to play the final 3:38. But if he were to get a triple-double, do you remember the last Iona Gale to get a MAAC tournament triple-double? It was not points, assists, and rebounds. It was points, blocks, and rebounds. And I remember it. Guy joined us courtside later that night, as I recall.
I know the guys in the truck are working on it. Dave Freed, our stats guy, here with us, next to us. Andy Brill and everybody back in the truck. I'll wait till we get the payoff there. I know they're working on putting it up there. 3:24 remaining here in the second half. A little weave action for the Gales to work some time off the clock. Now the shot clock under 10, so English obliges. Another soft shot that just bounced off the rim. Robertson, little floater, front rimmed it. Ricky McGill has played a terrific game off the bench for Iona.
No question. He hit a couple of threes in the first half. As we said, he's been getting more minutes as of late for his defense as well as his energy. Well, that's also translated to the offensive end today.
Yeah, 12 points, 3 rebounds, couple of assists, and a steal. Valenti still fighting. And once again, Iona happy to work the shot clock down. No need to expend any more energy here than they have to. But by being a top 2 seed, by finishing second place in the regular season, they have earned the right to have tomorrow off. English looking for a highlight reel shot. Put up an air ball, gets it back with a shot clock down to 2, and twice he missed the rim, and so we have a shot clock violation.
2 air balls on 1 possession. I guarantee you that's the first time he's done that all season.
Yeah, I would think so. Probably his entire career. Under 2 minutes remaining. Now, curious what the officials are checking to see if it hit the rim. Tim Kloos asked them and said he thought it hit the rim, or maybe English thought that I couldn't possibly put up 2 straight air balls.
That one wasn't even close.
And again, it's got to hit the rim. It's not about hitting the glass, it's about hitting the rim. That was the second of his 2 misfires.
Nope. And nope, didn't hit that one either.
So the 16-point game and under 2 minutes to go. Fortunately, they checked it out. And here we go. That possession was not as important as perhaps some people thought it was going to be.
I was thinking the same thing.
But I am all for getting it right. I do appreciate the use of it.
And it's good when they get to the monitor. But the 16-point game with under 2 minutes left to go, I think we're good to go.
We're good to go. McMillan misfires. Roundtree the rebound, and now English will bring it up slowly.
And so, Doug, I don't know if you're like me, but I really like this idea of getting the day off in between.
Yep.
You know, and so Iona and Monmouth, they get to hang out, get to watch maybe that Duke-Carolina game. Be a good matchup as Bryce Johnson and company try to avenge what was a bad loss at home.
Oh, yeah.
To the Dukies. Shouldn't have let that one go, but get a day off. You kind of get off your feet. I think it's a little bit easier to create that energy and into a semifinal. Once you win that semifinal, you're ready to go the next night.
Yeah.
So I think anything you can do to reward a team for what they do over the course of 20 games in the regular season, I'm all for.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, for these Canisius Golden Griffins, there are players whose career will be over in 47.6 seconds, and Jim Barron, well aware of that, is going to make sure that his seniors get a nice round of applause coming out. There you can see on Kevin Bleeker's face that he is done. Malcolm McMillan as well. His 1 season at Canisius is done. Canisius will end the year at 14-19, so no postseason invite ahead.
Yep, and nice job by Tim Kloos to call the timeout to allow not only the Canisius subs into the game, but his own as well.
And Jamal Reynolds as well, the other senior, getting a nice round of applause. The 3 tri-captains reflecting back on their college days. We'll take a break, come back with the final 47 seconds right after this.
All right, everybody, if this doesn't get your toes tapping, then check your pulse.
Ba 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 ba. The joy of cola, joy of bubbles, joy of fun, joy of Pepsi on your tongue. Greatest taste sensation under the sun. Ba 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 ba. Pepsi Cola.
And I love New York. There's no place like it in the world, especially in the winter. You know I love to play on the ice, but I also love the snow. New York has over 50 ski mountains, more than any other state. So carve some turns, catch some air, or snowmobile in a state with over 10,000 miles of trails. New York State is a winter wonderland. So plan your trip at iloveny.com. There's something for everyone.
During that timeout, emotions overcoming some of the Canisius seniors. That's Kevin Bleeker, realizing that his college basketball career is now final.
A graduate student at Canisius, fifth-year senior. You look at Malcolm McMillan, ends his career with over 1,000 points. It's always hard when that finality hits, right? It's all over.
No doubt about that. So with that break, both benches emptied for Iona. We get our first look at Benjamin Nokavia, Saren Westrop, and also into the game, Taylor Bessick, who has missed a lot of time with a calf injury, getting a chance to play the final 47-6, and he still has that left calf heavily wrapped.
Yeah, but talking to Tim Kluse earlier today, he said yesterday was the first time that he's really had the boot off, did a little bit of half-court shooting. So he said we'll see whether or not we get a chance to put him in, but he may be available.
There he is setting the screen. McGill, little runner. His terrific quarterfinal game continues. That's 14 points, a career high for the freshman from Spring Valley, Long Island. Cassidy Ryan, Isaiah Gurley, a couple of the reserves out there. Gurley puts up the three. And now let's see if Iona just dribbles it out for the final 12 seconds. Well, Canisius came here this weekend and fought. They went through a triple overtime affair with their arch rival last night and prevailed to play another day. But Jim Barron's club is done for the year. 2015-16's in the books. Tim Kluse's club will play on in a Sunday semifinal, Rob.
And an impressive offensive performance. Sharing the basketball. Also, I'll tell you what, I think they were pretty good on the defensive end. Good energy out of the zone, creating those turnovers and deflections that allowed Tim Kluse's team to go out and run. And when A.J. English puts up a double-double, you'd see Iona, one of the reasons why they're one of the favorites coming into this tournament.
We'll take a break and come back with much more here at the Times Union Center. We'll hear from the winning coach and our Pepsi player of the game, Iona, 73, Canisius 55. MAAC basketball is brought to you by I Love New York. Winter in New York State. There's something for everyone. Plan your trip at iloveny.com. Back inside the Times Union Center in downtown Albany, New York, where the Iona Gales have won the quarterfinal game 73-55, eliminating the Canisius Golden Griffins. Phil Valenti heading back to the locker room.
Kevin Bleeker just finished his college career, getting some hugs from the pep band, who will be heading back to Western New York after this loss. Meanwhile, the winners are standing by with our Matt Harmon.
Doug, appreciate it. Coach, let's talk about the offense tonight. 3 guys in double figures. We spoke earlier about sharing the basketball, but if you have 3 guys go like that, you know you're tough to beat.
Yeah, I thought our guys were great tonight on both ends of the floor. I thought they shared the ball, made shots, and then they defended their butts off.
You know, you have some of the givens, but I want to talk about Ricky McGill, who I thought was so spectacular for you guys off the bench, 14 points.
Ricky was great tonight. Brought a lot of energy, knocked down some shots, just made plays, and defensively gave us a huge lift as well.
You know, one more question, Coach, before we let you go. You know that the bracket's not going to be any easier on the semifinals. You got either Siena or Manhattan. I know it's going to be a fun game, something to look forward to.
No doubt about it. This is a great league, and every game you have to come prepared, and there's a lot of good teams left, and let's go get them.
Coach, appreciate the time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's talk to our Pepsi player of the game, senior A.J. English. A.J., 20 points tonight, but let's talk about the 10 assists. You know, when you guys are really that good, it does come from sharing the basketball.
Yeah, I mean, we take a lot of time. We put a lot of time in the gym, and Coach Goose always on top of us about getting shots up. So, I mean, I trust my guys, you know. How many players we have, I know they're going to make shots, so I just try to get them open and get them good shots.
You know, when you think about it, when you guys are hitting from the outside, it makes it dangerous, but you had 17 fast break points tonight. When it's going like that, obviously almost impossible to defend.
I mean, yeah, that's how you win the basketball. That's what Coach Goose preaches, and just get up and down, you know, make teams, you know, run at their pace and just play out on the basketball.
How important is it for you guys as the 2 seed? You now get the day off on 1 day of rest before you play in the semifinals.
I mean, honestly, this is the first time it happens. I really don't know. You have to ask me that question after the next game or before the next game.
AJ, appreciate the time. Best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Matt. A.J. English, 20 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, our Pepsi player of the game. Isaiah Williams, 18 points, 7 boards. And then you heard the coach talk about Ricky McGill off the bench with 14 points, 5 rebounds, couple of assists, and great energy. And an all-around victory as we see the Iona Gales moving on to the semifinal round. We had a couple of fairly routine games today where the top 2 seeds held serve, Rob. I have a feeling tomorrow night we might have a little more drama.
Yeah, I think both these games tomorrow look like they're going to be more competitive, that's for sure. The 4-5 matchup, always a good one. And then Siena, the home team, they'll have a big crowd in here. Manhattan, if they play with the energy that we saw from them last night, that should be a terrific one. Who knows? Maybe we'll go 4 straight years with Iona versus Manhattan. It won't be in the championship the way it's been the last 3 years, but certainly Manhattan a dangerous 6th seed. And so it should be fun tomorrow.
And now the Gales and the Hawks can put their feet up and enjoy the drama tomorrow and wait for their semifinal games on Sunday. Once again, our final score for quarterfinal number 2, Iona 73, Canisius with 55. Join us again tomorrow, 7 o'clock here on ESPN3 when we bring you another quarterfinal matchup. It'll be the Siena Saints and the 2-time defending champion Manhattan Jaspers. And be sure to join us all weekend to catch all the action of the 2016 MAAC Basketball Championships right here on ESPN3. For Rob Kennedy, Matt Harmon, and our entire crew, I'm Doug Sherman saying so long from Albany, New York.